Hello?
Okay, we good. All right. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Yeah.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Hi, guys, and welcome to episode 6 of ManaSurge Talk. I'm your host, Kyo. Today I'm very hairy because I haven't shaved yet. And today we are going to talk about the new expansion, World Uprooted. The Japanese name, Natera Hokai, which sounded cooler, even though I probably mispronounced it. But whatever, I'm not a weeb. Today I'm going to be joined by our team owner and leader, Bjorn, who's making an appearance
the first time.
once in a while.
Yeah.
No, this is the second time.
The second time? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Somehow Bjorn always appears when we're talking about new expansion. Yeah. Last time.
Yeah.
Last time you did so with Bima and Eladrin, right? Yep. And we are also joined by Ref turned MS number 1 Glow and Ref turned MS number 2 Fina.
Oh boy.
So this is actually an MSN Ref podcast. Secretly.
Excellent.
Yeah. Hey, so how's it going, guys?
Yeah, doing good. It just doesn't feel good that I kind of flopped in SVO, but yeah, that's it.
Hey, you're not alone.
Yeah,
I mean, today several others flopped as well. I know that I'm one of them, and several other players from other teams, they've been complaining, oh, I should have brought Amatas Forest and stuff like that. I mean, typical Amatas decks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Bjorn was a top team.
Bjorn only needs
9
one more
points.
win. One
Yeah.
more win.
Mhm.
You know, Bjorn, if you actually won against Minty that game round 5, you would have met me on the next round. Yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty.
but
That's
Yeah.
a shame. Yeah.
that's a shame. But at least that. Yeah. I mean, like, this is the first time, like, you've actually nearly reached top 8, right? Yeah.
But that's why I scheduled this podcast today, because now we can forget about SVO and talk about something else. This new
Yes.
expansion, very exciting. So for this podcast, we're mainly going to talk about the theme of the expansion and the mechanics. We are going to review some cards, but not all of them, because Nya, one of another ManaSurge team member, is going to schedule a ManaSurge card review for next week. So we're not going to steal their thunder and review everything.
Yeah,
we're just gonna review some.
We're just gonna review, like, we're not revealing. We're reviewing some cards.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, my pronunciation.
You said it, reveal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, just banter about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I will. Yeah, and then I will be doing the judging for them in the MS Talk episode. That's the plan.
Yeah, and at the same time, we are going to be talking about some of the cards that might be getting rotated in the next expansion. So we are going to be looking at Steel Rebellion, which will rotate out 2 expansions from now.
Yeah, basically after this expansion,
Mhm.
Steel Rebellion is going to rotate out, which is kind of important because most of the Machina cards are in Steel Rebellion. And that's a spoiler because we're also going to mainly talk about Machina. But if you guys have any cards that you want us to talk about at the end of this podcast, just tell us in the chat, and then we'll consider it if we have time and doesn't go on and on about some of the topics.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
I realized I've been muted the whole time.
What?
Yeah, cause I'm so used to doing production, so usually I mute myself on stream, but you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
forgot to mute myself.
Yeah,
lah,
I get it,
dude.
I get it.
Yeah, so yeah.
You guys missed.
Yeah,
You guys missed
still
the
bad.
whole Bjorn rant about not getting topic.
Yeah.
I guess they can kind of infer just from like my lip movement and what you guys are talking about, I guess.
Oh my god.
Or,
Well,
or
basically,
I could just voice over myself on post production.
No, no.
say you
Cut
would,
it,
say you
okay.
would, by Beyond. Yeah,
Oh my god. Not a single MS episode without any error.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with talking about like what World Uprooted is. I guess most of you have already like seen the PV. It's a very good PV. I think like it's my favorite PV in all of Shadowverse in expansion PV. Like,
Basically,
so cool.
Shadowverse. Basically, in Shadowverse, Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
Infinity War, yeah.
the Thanos is Baphomet.
So this expansion is going to be mainly centered around the two traits that were introduced last year, Machina and Natura. There is like a lot of buff cards for those two traits, and there is also like some cards that we want to mix the two traits together, which is kind of weird because they don't actually play that well together. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Side Games is planning with that.
Mhm.
And another one is they also introduced a new mechanic. This is like the first time they introduced a new mechanic in like quite a while, I think. When was the last time? I'm not sure.
Crystal Eyes was the last one.
Oh yeah,
No,
Crystal Ice was the last one.
wasn't it Union Burst? That was.
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I guess
no,
Universe.
So it's not. It's
Okay.
not that a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
alright.
To be fair, like I think Union Burst is only going to be a Princess Connect only card. So
Yeah. So it's
like we're not going to see another Union Burst until they have another Princess Connect collab. So, but like this one, we might see more in the next expansion. The mechanic I'm talking about, is fusion. If you guys don't know yet, fusion isn't like in fusion in Yu-Gi-Oh or any other game. It's kind of weird. So basically, the card with fusion have a button that you can press when you hover it. It's under the card text for the effect, and if you press the button, you get the selection of
Which
cards
you
in
wanna
your
be.
hand. Yeah, you can select several cards in your hand with the trait specified in the fusion text. So if it says fusion Natura card, it's going to show all the Natura cards in your hand, and you can select as many of them. When the cards that you select will get banished, it's going to get kind of like absorbed into the fusion card, and the fusion card gets stronger. Like the effect gets better. It doesn't gain stat for the most part, but basically it just buffs the effect and all other weird shits that we're going to talk about when we review those cards. But yeah, so it's a effect that like you don't pay any costs. Somebody died. Fina died.
He died. Don't mind him. He'll come
Yeah,
back.
we'll
Yeah,
he'll
just
come
go
back.
on. Yeah.
He'll come back.
Yeah, I guess he's gone.
So the card, the fusion doesn't. You have no cost to fusion. You don't have to pay PP for fusion. We are assuming that you can only do fusion once a turn, but you can fusion as many cards as you want that turn. So if you fusion, like you select 3 cards, that 3 card is going to be fused in, and the card will be keeping the fusion at the next turn. So even if you don't play that card, the turn that you fuse them, it will still keep the fusion. So you can like fuse 3 cards this turn, and the next turn you fuse 1 more card into it, and now it's at fusion 4. It's a very weird mechanic because it uses up your hand, but like I guess it kind of makes sense because of the trait that they are buffing right now, which is Machina and
Natura.
Natura.
Natura in a way.
yeah, both.
But like, most of the fusion cards are like Machina cards. So like, in a way, it's more
It's more Machina, yeah,
more
I
from
guess so.
Machina buff. Yeah.
At least from the revealed card.
Mm-hmm.
So like basically because the trait that they're buffing right now has a lot of effects that put tokens in your hand. So basically, they're saying like, oh, you just get like Natura tree or repair mode into your hand, and then you fuse them in. That's like the basic idea of the game. It's still a card disadvantage, but yeah, it's a very weird mechanic. What do you guys think?
I mean, personally, it's a good touch. Like, we actually have like a new mechanic and stuff. But at the same time, I'm just not liking how it looks like right now. Because somehow, some of the effects actually look pretty busted.
Yeah, and personally, what I think about this effect is that, first of all, if side games knows that fusion is going to be giving a player a card disadvantage, then they'll be more incentivized to, how do I put it, to give more broken effects to all these fusion cards. And second of all, if side games is already able to make fusion mechanic possible for Natura and Machina, right?
Machina, yeah.
Yeah, then another idea is that perhaps in the future they might extend these fusion mechanics to other non-trade cards. So for example, oh, let's just fuse multiple quick bladers into one huge boy or something like that. I don't
Fuse
know.
Quick Blader.
Yeah,
Fuse one drop.
yeah, fuse one
Fusing
drop
one
or
Dude,
drop.
that's damn
and-
scary considering you can combine like quick bladers and Tajis together.
I mean, this is just like the possible place that side games could explore into, but I'm guessing it's not going to come in the next expansion, but perhaps in future expansion.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
think
just
like
some random thoughts.
my biggest worry with Fusion is just that it's going to confuse a lot of new players. That's kind of like a big problem because the Fusion itself, like if you read the card text, doesn't really explain like what is Fusion, like how to fusion.
Yeah, it just says
Yeah.
fusion.
It just says
Natura,
Fusion.
Fusion, Machina. And when I first read it, I'm like, huh? What is this?
Yeah. It's very confusing for like, especially for people who missed the card reveal live stream,
Mhm.
expansion reveal live stream. Like they did show it in the expansion reveal live stream, but they only show it. There's no like official text on like how to fuse or whatever. Like that's why like some of the things that I said about fusion, like when I was explaining it, was kind of like an assumption. I don't know if it's once per turn, like because we don't know yet. There's no text, and like if I'm confused, what if like a new player just like see this fusion card, like what is this fusion? Do I need to use polymerization? Is this contact fusion? That's like
Fusion.
that's like
Polymerization.
Yu-Gi-Oh reference. I don't know if everyone.
But I guess the other
Yeah.
nice thing is that now you don't really run the risk of like overdrawing, right? Like you
Oh, yeah,
you're
that's
capped at
true.
9. You look at your hand and you decide like, oh, these are certain cards that are pretty dead in the matchup, and I probably don't need it, so you can kind of just
Just fuse them, right? Yeah.
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 That actually saves like that. That's actually one of the good things about fusion, in my opinion. It's just you basically consume your dead cards into something useful. So like
Yeah.
it's not the worst in terms of like reducing hand size in a way. It's just really good in terms of just debricking basically.
And like most of the vision cards are very high cost, so
Mhm.
like if you like don't want multiple high costs in your hand, you can just fuse it together. Fuse two Belformat together, it will become super Belformat.
Super Belformat.
Even better, fuse the old Belformat in.
Yeah, I mean that's not the current mechanics now, right? Like the current one is just you fuse cards, and based on the amount of stacks they get certain abilities and it gets stronger, pretty much, right?
Mhm.
But just food for thought, could that also mean that when it comes to deck building, in the past, like you are more afraid to like not
Breaking.
diversify your deck because like you feel like there are certain cards that are dead in certain matchups. But now probably with like the new fusion mechanics, you can kind of like so-called go with the so-called the Taiwan meta where you can kind of like
Yeah,
just
you
slap
put in-
everything,
yeah.
and then if it's not
Just-
working
just
well,
put,
you
like,
just fuse it
one-off.
away, right? Yeah.
And then,
so-
and then if it's like a dead card in like certain matchup, and then you play that matchup, you just fuse that card easily. Yeah.
I think like
saves the
it also depends on what trait the fusion is, because right now the only like the card that you can fuse are trait specific and not like card type specific, like fusion spell or something. It's very trait specific, and usually like the card in a trait doesn't. There's not a lot of like tech cards in like a trait, so there's no tech cards for Machina. You're you're playing most of the Machina cards because it's a Machina card. Like maybe there are like some rarely used Machina cards in some some classes.
Well,
Like
I don't think there is one right now.
maybe if you're playing Haven, you play Glow's card, Father Priestess.
No, that's not my card. That's your. That's
Uh,
Spiro's card, but I top eight with it, and then I
yeah,
somehow.
it's your card now.
Well,
He never top eight
oh my god.
with it. Father Refinement, yeah, Father Refinement.
What are you fine
7
with
mana
you?
5/5. Like that card isn't like useful all the time. You can just. I guess that's what Bjorn means, but it's not.
And
Like,
then I actually somehow made it work in top eight, which actually surprised me back then.
but yeah,
I think back then when I was I top decked it, I just screamed. I screamed as loud as I can.
yeah, very very weird mechanic. But that's like not the weirdest thing about this expansion because the next thing we're going to talk about is probably the most worrying things about this expansion because this expansion, at least from the cards revealed right now, is buffing Machina like a lot. And if you don't know, most of the Machina cards are in Steel Rebellion, which is the expansion after Outer Spear. Outer Spear is going to rotate next expansion, which means after World Uprooted, like the next expansion after World Uprooted, Steel Rebellion is going to be rotating out, which means most of the Machina cards are going to the Spear. And like that's very very bad because it's like you make these decks and then they're like unusable for the next expansion.
Yeah,
Okay,
immediately.
sorry, game.
It's just effective in like in like the first like that expansion and it just dies in the expansion.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's kind of part and parcel of realistic expansions, though just obliterating certain archetype does feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
because like there's some Machina cards that were introduced in Proof of Glory, and like some classes have good Machina cards in Rebirth of Glory. Like for example, Machina Elf gets the 3/3. I forgot his name. The 3/3 sword and Rebirth of Glory, and that's what makes it a meta back then. But most of other classes that I'm going to talk about now. Well, let's just move into it. Rune, Shadow, and Blood, the three sisters, Tetra, Ania, and Mono. Those three are going to rotate out, and like those three are basically the core of their decks. They're like the thing that make the decks together. How are you going to win with Machina Rune without Tetra spell like Sonic 4? How are you going to win with Blood without Mono?
Without mono, yep. And not just mono, I think Slain, another quite important Machina Blood card, is going to rotate out as well. So there is two finishers of the Machina Blood deck.
Ania also gets rotated out. She made the deck. Why are you playing Mech Shadow if you're not playing Ania?
Yeah.
You're just
I
playing
mean,
for turn 9.
It was
Eight,
viable
that's-
for like a certain period of time, and then it just
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful to be honest. Like during the time that it's like viable, and like these cards are kind of like very core. They're like the finisher of their respective decks, and they're all going to be rotated out. It's like kind of sad. I guess we can like compare on which class gets it worse when Steel Rebellion is going to rotate. From my like what I remember, Rune, Shadow, and Blood, the three that I mentioned just now, it's like they're just dead after the next expansion unless like they get very very good cards.
Yeah, but I mean, is this like pretty much the full release, or do you still have like more cards to be looking for?
No, we still have more cards. We still have
still
more
have
cards. It's okay.
Yeah, so
I don't know if they're gonna release more of like Machina cards in the next expansion. No, as in like in the next two expansion.
Oh yeah, that's also like
yeah, that's actually number one concern about it, right? I don't know if they're gonna print more. Like to be honest, we don't know. Just hopefully they will. If people want to see these cards play, hopefully they will. But yeah, just let's just see how it goes, right?
Yeah, and considering that the expansion is more or less split between both the Machina and Natura, yeah, the amount of Machina card will really be a concern. Like, how many Machina cards are they going to print out? So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, from what the cards revealed right now, they kind of mostly revealed the Machina cards, like I think on purpose. There's not a lot of natural cards that have been revealed.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. And like, of course, the neutral Machina cards is also rotating. Robo Goblin and Technolord. Technolord's rotating out. That's like,
Mecha Wing Angel rotating out as well.
mm-hmm.
And last but not least, there's also all the cores that is going to be rotating out as well. So I think the two most important cores that I personally feel that will damage the decks are going to be Sagacious and Sanguine.
Sagacious,
Yeah.
Sagacious, Sanguine, and probably Draconic.
No,
But
not
Nah,
Draconic.
not Draconic. Not in
it was
2020.
it was just there.
Not in 2020. Oh yeah, Phantasmal is also like rotating out. Considering like
Oh
they're
yeah,
going
the
with the
So
shadow, right?
yeah, so
Well,
that's
Hades kind of died.
Hades.
shadow. Yeah, and like going back to the legendaries, Limonium is rotating out for Haven, so you don't have access to that anymore, and that's going to be pretty important because the cards that we're going to review today, one of the cards has very good synergy with Limonium.
Mm-hmm.
Sword, sword also loses quite a lot, but Machina Sword is kind of like, eh. I
Eh.
think it's kind of like,
I mean,
eh.
with like ambush and Evo running around right now, I guess it's about time that Mechania Sword is kind of moving out of the picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for Forest, nah, I think Forest isn't gonna lose much. They to begin with, they aren't really that into the Machina package in the first place.
Hmm.
Still pretty much
Well, to be
control.
honest, one of the huge things for them to lose is backworm, right? Because I get enable so many cards in the Machina deck. Like you get the 3/3 Storm, and also the new card that's gonna synergy with it as well.
Mhm.
So like in a way, I think you know backworms. I think most notable mention is just the backworm, but I don't know like about the rest of the cards. Just like mediocre.
Yeah, Clef is like okay. His is good, but not that good. Uh, and then there's the 433. I forgot his name. I forgot her name.
Iron Bow Sniper.
Oh yeah, Iron Bow Sniper. That's like an okay card as well.
Yeah, it's a removal, so
Yeah,
it's
it's a removal.
okay.
But I
Yeah.
think like that's about it. Other classes, Dragon and Portal. Like Portal is getting a lot of a lot of Machina buffs like this expansion, but I'm not sure how they're going to mix together because the old Machina Portal is kind of artifact based, but the new Machina Portal cards is not artifact based. So even though they lost Gunner and Displacer Bot, like it's kind of like whatever if you're not playing artifact in your
Mm-hmm.
Machina
I don't
decks.
know. Is Artifact even gonna be viable?
Yeah, it's also like
Yeah, that's like the huge thing, right? Is it gonna be viable? Because like it was just viable like for that one expansion, and then it's just gone.
Yeah. So I guess to summarize, the biggest ones that got hit were Blood and Rune, cause those were kind of the Machina decks to play back then as well. And
Mhm.
then the others are like kind of secondary, like Forest lost a combo card, Sword kind of lost like certain cards to go white pretty well, and then I guess that's Haven as well, right? Like
Yeah, and not to
yeah,
mention the cost,
Limonium.
all getting rotated out.
Yeah, so oh
yeah,
well,
that's
we'll see, we'll see.
quite a lot. Yeah. I guess we'll just like jump into the card review. So like you can like talk about more on what the impact does the rotating card comes out because well, I basically select some of the cards because I know like these cards will get a bit more weaker after the expansion rotating out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with the first card I want to talk about. It's Damian Drill Arm Brawler.
Alright, so this is one of the new cards, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Forest Craft Legendary.
Alright, let me just fire that up. Alright, okay, here we go.
So Forest Craft Legendary, it's a 6 cost 4/5, 6/7 on Evo. Has Machina trait, of course. The effect has Funfair. If another Machina card was played this turn, gain Storm. And Strike, deal X damage to all enemies, even face, where S equals the number of allied Machina followers. This does count himself. Has the same effect on Evo. So just like Glow mentioned just now, Backworm rotating out. Backworm combos with this like very, very hard. Like, what do you guys think about this card? I think it's like pretty solid.
In a way, I think this is like one of the finishers that Machina Forest was looking for, but Machina Forest as a general is just really a mediocre deck in my opinion right now. So I don't know. It's
Yeah,
good, but it's just there.
they had to rely on Omnis and Miracle of Love for most of their finishing power. So this is like the first time they actually get an actual finisher in Machina. Just kind of interesting. Like with just Backworm and this, it's basically going to deal 6 damage to face while dealing 2 AoE. If you got like double Backworm.
So basically, this card can be like a Cal.
Kind of like a Cal. Doesn't scale as well as Cal though.
Yeah, it doesn't scale as like Cal, but
Unless
it's
you have
there.
like your opponent leaves something on board. Which, like, if you know this card exists, I don't think you're going to leave anything on board against Machina Root now. Machina Forest now. I'm getting excited of myself. Like, I'm talking about Machina Root.
Because the next card that we're gonna be talking about, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, like,
I mean, this card's pretty nice, right? Like you combo, you get to go face, you get to do a mini bot wipe at the same time, and not forgetting that bot wipe actually hits face as well. So if you're actually comboing, you're not only dealing 6 damage, but actually like plus plus, cause there's the additional effect on top of that.
I think you almost always deal 8 damage on turn 6 with this card.
yeah,
Yeah,
which
it's
Because
sucks.
you
possible.
just evolve it. After playing a backworm, you just evolve it, then you smart for like 8. And
Yeah,
then both
imagine.
wipe as well. It's so good.
Imagine doing 8 damage on turn 8, on turn 6. Portal is turn 8 to deal 8 damage with Gorilla.
And it needs a resonance effect or natural tree effect.
Yeah, left in
Yeah.
Gorilla, dude. Someone's gonna be mad.
I'm just doing that to piss off, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Actually-
I look at this card, it does have the potential to be broken. We just have to wait for more cards to be reviewed. Because if I were to compare this card with what's that card name called? Bloodcraft Slaying. Yeah, Slaying requires you to have accumulation of Machina cards in your hand. This doesn't. This just requires you to play a Machina card, gain Storm, and you get a free bot white as well. So if let's say future cards to be reviewed includes cards that reduce the cost of Machina card, this will be kind of broken, I think.
There is like the other gold, which I think we can like slide a bit into it just to see. It's Iron Glider Elf, the new gold. It's a Forest Craft gold Machina card with Funfair. Put a random Machina card excluding this Iron Glider Elf from your deck into your hand and subtract 1 from its cost. Evolve, do the same thing basically. So if you play it on 4 and evolve him, it's going to draw 2 and reduce 1 from its cost.
And then
Which
if you draw Damien, you can play it on 5.
Play
Can
on
play
5,
on
right?
Now you
Yeah.
can deal 8 damage on turn 5. Fuck it. Suck it, Gorilla.
Suck Gorilla. Quan.
Suck it, Quan.
Actually,
Why are
I
you
think
going
the
to do
scary
96
thing is
on?
that like usually like turn 4, 5, 6 are like your brawling turns. So usually things on the board aren't like very topped up. They're usually left with 2 health, 3 health, that kind of amount. So it's pretty scary that you can kind of like go face and clear board at the same time. And if you're playing a backworm, you can kind of like evolve the backworm to just clear off whatever's like the extra health. So
Yeah.
that's pretty scary if you ask me.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe this is the card I need for Machina Forest, but we'll see how it goes, right?
We have to
Yeah.
see.
This does scale a bit better like later in the game because like if the later you go, the more Machina cards you can play. Like on turn 9 you can play Backworm, discounting the 3/3 Sword, and then play this. Like that's going to deal 7 damage plus 3 AoE. If you don't have evolve, if you have evolve you get 2. It's like kinda insane. It gives Machina Forest basically a lot more reach than they ever been. Usually it's only like either you combo out Ritual of Love or you Omnis, which is like 4 to 5 damage. That's like not a lot. It's like whatever. Who the hell deals 5 damage Storm in 2020?
Oh yeah, speaking of like Backworm, is that the are those cards the set they're going to rotate out, or they are the set that is going to stay
Yeah.
only for one expansion?
No, it's going to rotate.
It's going to
it's
stay
going to
for
stay
one
for
expansion.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna like have a lot of maximum fun just for that one expansion, and then we won't see
Yeah.
it ever again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
which is like kind of like the whole point of this expansion. I think they're like, okay, Machina is going to rotate out. I'll just put all the power cards in. Power creep? Never heard of it. Never heard of it. There's no power creep in this game. It's not a power creep if everything is OP. We released an extra turn card in expansion 1. Like how more OP can you go from that?
Kyo, before we get to sidetrack, before we stole Nya spotlight, we should probably move on to the next card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're
That's
talking,
okay,
we're
we're
talking
just-
too much.
we're just talking too much about one card. We're not talking too much about all of the cards. Speaking of talking too much, we're going to move on to the Machina Rune Legendary. Which
Oh
is,
no, Kyo's gonna talk a lot here.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, this card has a lot of decks. Regalor Steel Chimera. It's an 18 cost 5/5. We already had a 20 cost in Rune, now we have an 18 cost follower. Of course, because it's Rune. It's a Runecraft Legendary Machina with the effect of Fusion Machina. So you can fuse Machina cards from your hand to this, like I explained earlier in this podcast. And also, it has for each card fused to this follower, subtract 2 from its cost. Basically, if you fuse 5 cards into it, it's going to be an 8 cost because it has subtract 10. It's kind of like Spell Boost, but you have to eat up the cards in your hand to reduce the cost. It's like, I guess, it's Rune after all. Discount is kind of like their thing. And then it has Ward and Funfair. Return all allied Machina follower, excluding Regalor Steel Chimera, to your hand. So you can't loop this if you have 2 of them, which is very important. And summon an assembly droid for each follower returned to your hand. Then give all allied assembly droids plus X and rush. X equals half of the number of cards fused to this card rounded up. Evolve, it's a 7/7 ward. So to explain this card, you fuse a lot of card to it, makes it very cheap. Play it as a 0 cost. The more you fuse, the better, the cheaper it is. Not only is it cheaper, but it also buffs better. When you play it, you bounce all your Machina in your field. Like if, for example, you bounce 3, then it will call 3 assembly droids. Assembly droids are the 1/1 neutral Machina token, and it will give plus X equals to the number of fusion, the number of cards fused into this. So if you have 9 fusion, it's going to buff this by 5 because it's rounded up. So 9 divided by 2, rounded up, it's 5. So it's going to call 6/6 assembly droid and rush. So the best case scenario for this card is you fuse 9 cards into it, makes it a 0 cost. You play a full board of Machina, and then you play this, bounce everything, have a 5/5 ward, and 4/6/6 rush, which makes Kwon cries.
I don't know if you can fuse 9 cards though, because I think you can only fuse about 8 cards because this card counts as the 1 card from the 9 card maximum. So yeah, I think rounded up, I think the maximum you can get is only 5/5 in my opinion.
I think like if you really want to, you can fuse as much as you want. Like
I
you can
mean,
fuse
like
12
the
cards.
last turn you can just fuse like. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, you
I
can
was
just.
thinking on like fusing in that one turn to play it.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you can just fuse like other turns, right? Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
if
You
you
that
can.
fuse
works. That
everything
works.
in one turn, you don't have things to put on the board for things to bounce back.
Well, that's the thing though, Bjorn.
Yeah.
This is Machina Rune we're talking
It's
about.
Machina Rune, yeah. We're talking about Machina Rune.
Machina Rune is the archetype with the leader effect of recovering one play point every time you play a Machina cards,
And if you
and
play 3, you get back Delta Cannon if you play Tetra.
it also has the two cost 3/1 follower. Let me mechanized life form. It was a card in Steel Rebellion that to refresh you guys' mind on like how stupid this deck is. It has the effect of whenever you play another Machina card, draw a card.
So it always reveals, and one of the ways to lose back then is to play 2 mechanized life form, and then just keep playing Machina cards, and then you keep overdrawing. Then for some reason, this fusion card actually salvaged that problem, right?
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
you can
god,
just
yeah.
fuse like the extra effect, extra cards you have in your hand. Like usually, if you have a mechanized life form already on board, if you play like a card that gives a Machina card to your hand, like that gives like Robo Goblin or something, and you evo and hit. You add one card into your hand, and then you draw one card. So that's like +2. So if you have full hand, you're gonna burn a card, which is like, but now, uh,
But the question is, can you fuse at any point in time, or like once you do a fusion in that turn, you can't do it anymore? That's the
that's
question.
like the biggest question, I
Yeah.
think.
So if you can only like trigger the fusion like mechanic only once. So let's say I fuse one card and then I do the draw shenanigans and I want to refuse again. I'm unable to do that, right? So that's kind of like the thing we need to clarify as well.
I think you like the way to play this card is that you fuse one or two earlier, like you fuse one or two, and then like when you go off, you fuse like your whole hand
Yeah. So
into
but
it to make it
yeah,
zero
I
cost.
mean, if it's only like once per turn trigger, then I guess we kind of have to play around that way. But if not, you know, you can kind of like go crazy with like double draws. You play a card, you draw two, and then you just keep chucking like I don't know assembly droids or like repair modes into it just to like make it a lot cheaper, and then you
Oh my
just
god, a single turn of
and then you
this.
bounce
Oh,
back, and then you bounce back the two draws on top of that as well. So it's like it's crazy.
it's crazy.
And make
It's
make
crazy.
a huge board.
Oh no, Bjorn, do not start that.
Yeah, but
Oh
the
no,
last time
I'm having
the last
flashbacks.
time we had a deck that we could like do so many things in a particular turn was probably like Portalcraft, right? Like you know you kept playing artifacts, you trade,
Yeah,
you draw and you
I
draw
guess
and draw and
that's
draw
like,
and yeah.
I mean, like that's one of the reasons why back then I actually enjoyed playing it because it reminds me of Alt Artifact. Oh
Yeah.
man.
You just ping, draw, ping,
Ping
draw, ping,
draw, ping
draw.
draw.
Basically artifact. You're not wrong. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually very scary, right? Like let's say you have like the draw bot and you have the other bot where you play a Machina and you ping, and then you just ping it and drawing, and then you overdraw, and then make this guy cheaper, and then you just bounce everything back, and they have a huge bot, and then they kind of have to deal with that, and if they can't deal with that, they die. But if they do deal with it,
You
you can
just
kind of just
do it
repeat the
all over
next
again.
turn because you're
Yeah.
probably gonna like draw the next copy again.
And
Yeah.
the nut combo will be having another copy of the Steel Chimera in your hand. So once it bounces back, you have another.
No. It can't bounce other Steel Chimera.
I
That
know,
would be
but
OP.
when you bounce the other Machina cards back to your hand, you
Oh.
have a board of assembly droid. You have additional assembly droid that is already back in your hand, which you can use it to fuse into the one in your hand.
God
Yeah.
damn it, Pina, don't do this.
So it's possible. It's actually possible if, let's say, across several turns, you start to discount equally across 2 copies of this Steel Chimera. You can actually play 2 copies of this out in a single turn.
Oh,
I don't
but
know.
I at this point I really hope that for the for the good of the game, we should only be able to fuse once a turn and not like do it as and when we want. Seriously.
Dude, if we can do it every time we want, I'm just gonna play 3 mechanized life form and no one's gonna punish me.
You know,
Yeah,
Oh,
precisely,
you're gonna
right?
overdraw. Whoops, fuse, baby.
Earlier this expansion, I was like joking in Twitter. It's like, oh, side games, R&D. Let's just make everything a Daria. Apparently they did.
Oh no!
This is actually a
No.
Daria.
No, the worst part is they actually reprint Daria again.
Yeah, and it's not as good as the other Darias in this expansion.
But it is
Yeah.
a Daria.
It is Daria.
But it is Daria. This is a better Daria than Daria.
But we won't go into detail about.
Yeah,
Daria.
we're not going to talk about
Well,
Daria,
We're
sadly.
gonna let Nya have that spotlight.
Alright,
Yeah.
so maybe we can just move on to the next
Okay,
card
the
that
next
we were
card.
planning to talk about.
Yeah. I'm so scared of that card, but anyway,
I have nothing to say but value about this card. But
let's like cool down a bit, and I guess we'll talk about Havencraft Legendary. Not sure why I. Oh yeah, I also going to mention again.
It was because of
Since-
Limonia, right?
Yeah, I'm going to mention this again since we kind of have a bit of time left. Like
Mhm.
we actually did it a lot. If you guys have any cards that have been revealed that you want us to talk about, as long as it's already on the site, you can like just chat, just chat.
Yeah, just
Oh.
drop it in the comments.
Yeah, just drop it
chat
in the comment.
Alright.
Fina died again. Alright.
Discord having some problems.
It's okay. Welcome back, Fina. Feist Dead Crypt. It's a Havencraft Legendary. 6 cost 3/3 Machina. With the effect, Funfair, put 2 Iron Knuckle Nuns into your hand and change their cost to 0. Whenever you play a Machina follower deals 2 damage to it, then give it +2/+0 and rush. Has the same effect on evolve. It's a 5/5 on evolve. Iron Knuckle Nuns are the 3 cost 2/3 with Funfair, with Ward and Funfair. Put a repair mode into your hand. It's the Ward thingy that you play before you play Alana.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This is
So to put it
Exact
simply, it's a 6 cost 3/3 that makes a 2/0/2/3s, and if you play the 0 cost 3/3s, it's going to be a 4/1 rush that also puts the Machina, the repair mode into her hand for future use with, say, Alana or Cal, Ton Decay.
looks like actor to me.
Yeah, it feels
It
like
is
an actor,
actor.
but with like more even out spreaded stats, right? And
Yeah.
it's like it's a 3/3. It makes 2 Iron Knuckle Nuns that, assuming if you play them down, they are like 4/3 each. So you're actually doing like 8 damage. And each time you play each one of them, you're actually doing another 2 more damage. So you effectively have like what 12 damage of trading power in this particular turn, which is huge. It's so much. It's so much more than actor if you think about it.
And like you also don't need to play the Iron Knuckle Nuns if you say, for example, have like Alana already on board, like Alana Sprayer already on board. You can play this on 3 if they don't have anything. On 6, they don't have anything, and then on 7, like you play Iron Knuckle Nun, and maybe Kel, and
More heal stuff.
Stop. Please.
because it's 0 cost. She changed it to 0 cost. It's a 0 cost 3 ward with repair mode.
Oh no, please.
So on turn 7, you can Iron Knuckle, Kel, repair mode. Banzai!
Banzai! You can literally make a unbreakable wall. Like just play both of your Iron Knuckle down, throw a Sonya while you're at it. Oh, I still have a 0 cost heal, motherfucker. Nothing you can do.
Okay, for a moment I thought you DC after the poop, but okay.
That would be pretty fun.
No.
Yeah, but I mean,
guess-
given that the stats is pretty small, right? Like it's a 3/3, but I guess he kind of like did his job after he comes down. But if you do want the ping, then you do still need him to stick around. So I guess like playing him on 6 is alright, cause it's kind of like a setup turn, and even if like you don't have Elena set up with, it's still like a very huge trading turn. But whether these things are left alive, I think most likely not, considering Iron Knuckles are like only 3 toughness, so whatever it's going to trade into is probably going to die along with the pings, and then what you're probably going to be left on board is probably just like Vice himself, right? If you think about it.
Yeah, and to draw a parallel with these cards, right? Like if you look at the recent mini expansion, which is Goddess of the West Wind, it has similar stat line as well, but the value lies within its fanfare effect, which is just bringing out free Havencraft followers. So the more recent decks would play this card along with what's that thing called? Lancer and Whiteheart, which are both very valuable cards as well. So the value is indeed within the fanfare effects.
Yeah, actually, what I'm thinking now is that could this actually rival Kuon, like in terms of like a trade-off? Cause considering like right, like if you play Vice, and then let's say you have a Kuon board, right? So it's like Kuon's a 5/5, you got a 4/5 wall, you got a 2/3. No, you have a 1/3 and a 4/3, right? You technically could kind of clear the board entirely with Vice in coming in on 6, correct? Like let's say if they do
I
a
don't
turn 6 Kuon,
think
and they do a
so.
turn 5 Kuon.
Because it's a 4/5. It's a 4/5 ward. So if you evolve
I don't
and
think-
kill the 4/5, you're going to left. You either trade 2 into Quad, or you trade the 2 into the Shikigami.
No, but there's also the 2 damage ping, right? So you can play Vice, you can
No,
evolve Vice.
The 2 damage ping is onto the Machina follower that you played.
What? Damn it! Oh
Yeah,
crap!
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah. It's
I've been
not.
reading
It's
it.
not as OP as you can say.
So-
that
so-
would be
okay,
that would be
so-
insane.
Yeah, that would be
Oh, so you guys did correct me when I said like 12 trading power, so it's actually 8. Oh boy.
I was thinking like you were trying to say with evolve or something.
Alright, okay, so I
Yeah.
guess you still can't like trade cleanly with a Kuon then.
Yeah, it doesn't trade cleanly to
If you have like Alana already on board and it's on turn 7, you can technically play a single repair mode. That would actually clear Gohan, but you have to go first in that case.
I don't know, it's just not reliable in my opinion.
But I mean, like you're playing Alana. If you take just Kuon, you just Tone Decay.
Ton K.
I guess
Yeah.
Tone Decay also needs like going second because you can't Tone Decay repair mode. That's got only 4 damage and Kuon is like 5, which is really annoying. Why does Kuon have 5 health?
I mean there's a reason kind of like why we don't even see that deck right now trying to combat Kuons, right? Because I'm not sure if like if their early game is too weak or they're unable to establish like consistent on decays, who knows.
Yeah. So games be like, why we nerf Tone Decay when we can just make everything bigger so they don't die to Tone Decay? Side games never change. But yeah, I
side
guess
games.
one last thing is that since we were comparing it to Ector, of course, unlike Ector, this doesn't buff the cards that's already on board, and like Bjorn mentioned before, the stat is it's way less than Ector. Ector is a 5/7 with 2 1/2s. This is just a 3/3, so it's kind of like meh as for the stat. But it does set you up for like a very very cool tempo turn.
Yeah,
It's like-
I really like the setup turn, but not the trading turn, because he's probably the only guy that's gonna be left on the board after you run in the 2 like 4/3s.
Yeah, you do still like. Oh yeah, I forgot like another synergy that's going to happen because Limonium is still a card. Limonium, the Havencraft Machina Legendary.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
technically
It's
Vice
still
can be
in.
like a lot cheaper if you play like Limo on 4 and then you start like
Yeah, you can actually play this on 5,
yeah.
and like this generates 3 of the Limonium token
Whoa, that would be creepy.
by himself. So like if you play Limonium and then you play this, I think you already got the Aegis. Or do you need one more? I don't play Limonium that much.
Do you still play Aegis? I think yes, sometimes.
No, the Aegis from Limonium.
I know.
Nah, in the fast meta, I don't think you're gonna play the Aegis. I don't even know like how you can find a
Yeah,
time
but
to
it's
just
still
drop
like-
that Aegis.
But it's still like okay. Like if you play this and then you play this again, which is it's not that rare. We see double quad all the time. So you get like 6 of those, so you can get the Aegis and then start discounting the Aegis. Which can be a win con, especially against decks like Control.
Like Control Forest, you mean?
Control Forest. Although Control Forest is like
Forest.
we don't know if it's going to be still a thing after Carbuncle rotates out. But yeah, like there's good synergy with that. Also, like while we're talking about still Rebellion synergy, you can keep the 0/2/3 and then play it 0 and then play Robo Falcon to give it the rush on the next turn. Like if you're keeping it and not playing it on Vice turn. It's also like another tempo things that you can do with that deck, and giving like a good tempo turn to Alana is kind of dangerous because that deck, like usually if they don't get things going on early, kind of flops because most of their cards are slow. But this is like pretty fast.
Yeah.
Right, you guys don't want nothing
Yeah,
else?
we can move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah, this is going pretty fast. The next card is for some reason we need Bjorn need to scroll up for this because I listed that way. It's Bloodcraft Gold. We haven't seen the Bloodcraft Legendary Machina, but the gold card is pretty exciting by itself. It's Mecha Shot Devil, 3 cost 3/3 Bloodcraft Gold Machina. On evolve, it's a 5/5. It has the effect of Funfair. If at least 10 aligned Machina floor have been destroyed this match, recover 1 evolution point. And evolve if there are at least 2 Machina cards in your hand. Give your leader the following effect. At the end of your opponent's turn, summon an assembly, draw it. This card is 4 gold. It's actually pretty insane.
It's very good, I'll tell you that. The evolve effect, good.
Has evolve. You can also recover evolve for this, so you can actually like the 5 cost. I forgot the 5 cost 4/3. The guy that draws. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That guy usually like doesn't do anything like because you don't have
Meta
evolve.
Devil,
Yeah.
Meta.
Yeah.
What?
Metal.
No.
No. It's
Meta
just,
Blade Demon. What?
Metal
what the
Blade
hell?
Metal
Demon,
Blade
yeah.
Demon.
Metal
Yeah,
Devil.
that card. Like that card is usually very like it sucks late game if you don't have evolve. Now you can actually play it with this, and you can still like deal damage and clear some board.
You
It's
know
kinda
what?
neat.
You know what's good about this card is that if you summon this during the turn that mono is active, you can basically get three more damage off the storm.
It is a so-called guarantee trade-off damage because at the end of your opponent's turn, not your turn, your opponent's
Yeah.
turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Opponent's turn, which means the assembly droid that someone gets storm. So like having 3 more damage can be essential.
Yep.
And it's also like fasten up your mono and this because you get 1/1 every turn. You get like extra machina card death every turn. It's very good. It's very good with mono. helps you with Metal Blade again because if you play this on 4, then your Metal Blade will always at least draw 2
Mm.
because you always have an assembly droid. It helps with a lot of things, to be honest. Like I think just by the back of this card alone, Machina Blood would be a thing. It would be a thing. It was very close to be a thing earlier this expansion as well. Some people are trying it.
I mean,
Get killed by Kuon.
I mean, it's
Ah, cool one.
But it does
still
work.
good. There.
Still has a lot of storm. Technolord is still a card. It can flood the board very well. And this card even helps more in the flooding. And like if you go on turn 4, you can evolve this, and then if you have repair mode in hand, just heal this. It's a 5/5 again. Kill can't kill it. You have to trade kill counter it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there like any other synergy you guys like might actually have an idea?
Not really. Like,
So far, I mean, the card itself is actually pretty good. It's basically lets blood have those. Basically sets up the seven machina destroyed easier, right?
Yeah.
But to be honest, I just don't really see much synergy for it right now. Cause like we have to see like what else like machina cards that we're gonna get for blood, or else it's just there, but it's still good, but it's just there. It's not gonna be viable.
and because of this card, right? If let's say you're going second, you would actually want to evolve this much more over Gear Snake Tamer. So in that sense, we still have to look at what are the cards that are going to be reviewed soon. But at this point in time, I feel that we could possibly cut down on some Gear Snake Tamers because late game it's not going to be very valuable. But whereas for this card, if for some reason the game extends way beyond, you have more than 10 dead machines, you will get a free evolve point, you get a free 5/5 clear to try to drag out the game and get your mono win con or some other form of win con. So yeah. And by the way, Machina still can run destructive suck. So it does help with destructive suck quite a bit.
You don't actually have to, unless you want to like run Union Burst stuff, but it's just me.
Oh yeah, and there's still Union Burst.
Yeah, Universe is still a thing. I don't know if they have like tech slots for it. Uh, Machina Blood has always have trouble with tech slots.
Yeah, I guess.
But it does mean like if you're going full Machina, like very very full Machina, Unleash the Nightmare will be a bit more consistent as well. It's kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We might see Machina Blood. Okay, since we still have like some time, I guess we can do one more. I want to talk about the Shadowcraft Gold.
Alright.
This card is also pretty good.
Shadowcraft Go.
Check Shovel
Shovel,
Gravedigger. Yeah, check Shovel
Gravedigger.
Gravedigger. It's a 2-cost 1/2 Shadowcraft Gold Machina. This card has Bane, and the effect of if this follower was summoned with a spell or effect, gain +X and rush. X equal to the number of other allied Machina followers in play. And on evolve, it summons 4 Assembly Droid.
Insane.
Has Bane.
I'm trying to think like what kind of cards can cheat it out.
Uh,
I mean, it has
This
to
will
be
look
summoned
good
by a
in-
spell or effect, right?
Well, there is a
Reanimate?
card that there's actually a card that benefits with
Fleeting
this.
Joy.
But,
Fleeting Joy.
Not only Fleeting Joy. You can use like the next gold card, but to be honest, we're not gonna go deep into that. But
Yeah.
the next gold card, Friends Forever. One of the card effects actually reanimates 4, 2, and 1, so you can reanimate this.
Yeah, if you reanimate, this does get the effect. So if you, for example, use the other gold card, which is like I guess we can talk about it a bit. It's a 5-cost spell, Friends Forever. It has the effect of use play point equal to discard's cost and play this card as Luna's Game or Aeneas Friendship. And Necromancy 4. Instead, reanimate 4, reanimate 2, and reanimate 1. Then restore 4 defense to your leader and put a Fleeting Joy to your hand. The token effect is Luna's Game is the reanimate effect, basically reanimate 4, reanimate 2, reanimate 1, and Aeneas Friendship is the healing effect, restore 4 defense to your leader and put a Fleeting Joy into your hand. So it has very good synergy. You want to talk a bit more about this, Glow?
Oh, it's quite
I mean,
powerful.
like, as a card by itself, I think it's really good. Especially looking at Shuten Doji and stuff like that, right? If you if you reanimate this with the effect, at least what I think that it can benefit from? From the French Forever, you can just play the Tempo Shuten. And then from the Tempo Shuten, if that Shuten dies, you can reanimate it again. You can have this. You can have at least the Shuten effect, guaranteed. Even going first, because that's actually like one of the issues back then, when playing Shuten is like on turn 5. It's like it doesn't feel good because you're floating 1 play point, and usually you just draw or like maybe play Miyako. I don't know if you would do that though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then again, reanimate is pretty random, right? So it's like a 2 and a 4, and what
I
was the other one
mean,
again?
you could just run.
if you do it early
I think,
enough,
like,
it's
Yeah, you could just get it early enough. I think.
Mhm.
I don't see that card being good in the late game, but in the, like turn 5, I think it's like super good.
Yeah, so let's say like you bring back a Shuten and her, right? You don't get the buff technically because Shuten's not a Machina, but I
You
guess
can
still-
get
she
back.
still get rush.
yeah, she does still have
She
the
does get a
rush.
rush.
Yeah, so she's
Yeah.
good.
it's still
Assuming
a
2 cards.
1/2 Bane rush.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
assuming
it's a Bane.
both cards are like Machina, right? That gets called back. So I guess she will be a 2/3. Is that it? Yeah, she'll be a 2/3 rush, right?
Yeah, 2-3.
Yeah,
She'll be a 2/3 rush,
Two-three.
and then you have, let's say, that 4 drops, and then if you evolve her, you're probably going to like just lose 1 assembly droid because you technically have like 5 maximum on the field, right? So
Yeah, there's
one
never
droid's
enough
gonna
Bane
go.
in Shadow.
So many
And
Banes.
for this card, right, what I feel is that it might fit into a Hades deck, or if let's say you are playing unlimited for some reason, this card could go very well with, the famous Lady Grey.
Oh no.
Lady
Oh.
Grey evolve, reanimate this.
Oh no.
Oh shit! Yeah.
no.
Lady Grey
Oh,
technically
no,
is an
that's so
effect.
good.
Bane! And if let's say you are one of the players who are already taking in like what's that card called? Spectre, the 2/1 Bane, default Bane in your shooting deck, you could swap to this. Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Oh, and like talking about unlimited, you can also use it for Atomy.
Atom.
Oh,
no! The more pressing thing to discover.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Hey, unlimited.
Bjorn, that's a mess.
You know, it's been a while since we've seen like Atomy make a reappearance in the expansions as well. In fact,
Hey, wait.
many
We
of like
still,
the first gen stuff aren't appearing yet.
we still have a empty Shadowcraft Legend slot. Could it be Atomy? A Machina Atomy? I don't know.
Does it look kind of
Robo
robot-ish? Oh my god.
We still have an empty Legend slot, but alright.
Going back to like Machina as well, one of like the problems with Machina deck is that you kind of don't want to play a 2-cost Machina card because you eventually want to play Aeneas Friendship, not Aeneas Friendship, Fleeting Joy, and Fleeting Joy summons random Machina follower with different costs from your deck until your board is full. So if you have a 2-drop, that's going to summon a 2-drop into the board, and it's like 2-drop is kind of small. You don't want to, but if you summon this, it's going to be very, very big.
It's basically it could be what is it? 6/7 Rush Bane.
Yeah, 6/7 Rush Bane.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Turn 9. Aeneas Friendship. It's going to be crazy. Aeneas Friendship, I mean Fleeting Joy is going to be crazy. So yeah, basically, back then you don't want to play a 2-drop in your Machina Shadow because you don't want to pull it. Now you have this card. So very good. See what I mean by like every Machina deck is getting like something insane.
Yeah, I guess they are right.
It's like this is the one expansion when you can be very when you can flex all of those tetras and all of those monos that you make into animated. And then the next expansion they're all gone. Bye bye.
Right, so let's move along to the next card. Being requested by Styx. I think Styx wants us to talk about Gabriel.
Gabriel?
Yeah, Gabriel.
Gabriel?
Gabriel
Is he a man or girl?
is a girl, apparently.
Oh wait, I need to read
Yeah,
this.
it's a
Sorry.
But
I was like waiting for
the
something.
name is called Gabriel.
yeah.
Let me just Google it up real quick. Is Gabriel a
Oh,
male or
no.
female name?
I think
While
I think it's like
Peanut
both.
is doing that, Gabriel Heavenly Voice. It's a 3-cost 3 neutral legendary, not a Machina card. Finally, it has Ward and Funfair. Use X play points to give +X to this follower and another allied follower. X equals to your remaining play points. Has Ward and 4/5 evolve.
Wow.
Gabriel is back, and now she not only buffs another card, she also buffs herself. And to be fair, it's very big. She's very big.
I like the
Very
card.
big indeed.
I like the card. If it's buffing Leon.
Imagine if Leon is still here.
If Leo is still here, right?
If Leon is still here,
Leon's not around,
please.
right? He should be out.
You know, he's
Oh,
out.
no, he's out.
He's
Oh
out.
boy.
This is the last expansion where you can play Ambush Sword.
No.
Well,
Now we
had
only
our
have
fun.
Amatas.
Yeah.
So, like, I think one of the things that I just immediately found out about this is that on 4, it's actually pretty good. If you have something on board, it's going to give +1/+1. It's going to be a 3/4 ward. It's like, pretty solid, I guess.
I mean, like 3/4.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
3/4 does kind of remind you of like how Ancient Elf used to be, where you have to bounce one unit back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is like a better Ancient Elf, because you don't not only like bounce back the stuff, but you're actually buffing the other thing.
Yeah, because
so,
she also buffed herself and buffed another one.
Yeah. So it's it's pretty nice.
Imagine playing this in Evolve Sword. And
Yeah, I
then-
was also like thinking about that just now.
I'm thinking about it, like, I think it's a really good card in Evolve Sword.
Like,
I mean,
if you-
technically you could just... Maybe if you play, like, Surgery Pecory that doesn't get answered, if you play this, Pecory's just gonna get...
4/4.
Like, Pecory's just gonna get casually a 4/4 at the end of the turn, becomes a 4/5, it's hard to kill. and then you can
Wow.
just bug it face if you need to if you're going second.
If you either Chizuru or Steadfast doesn't get killed,
Yeah,
Oh
you
boy,
focus
yeah,
on
yeah.
5 or 6.
yeah,
No
right.
boy.
Steadfast
That's
is
insane.
like probably one of the higher likely target that is not going to get answered unless people are starting to like put back spells again just to deal with it, depending on the popularity.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of like punishing a lot of decks, like even like Shadow, cause they don't bring like Manifest to like ping it away immediately, so it kind of sticks.
They
as a
can't even ping it because like if they enhance it,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
free.
That's that too, right?
Yeah, if you play Steadfast on 3 or 2, for example, and doesn't die on your evolve time, you can evolve Steadfast and buff it with this.
Oh
Mhm.
god.
Well, I mean, but I
Pretty
guess
cool.
they have the friends forever to actually summon the grave. Who is that again? The two playing for
Grave
gold
Digger,
again. Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
check
The
Shaman
grave
Grave
digger.
Digger, the one that we just talked
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So it does have pain.
So
You do have access.
technically, yeah, you can still answer it. As Shadow, you can still answer it, but as other decks, we'll see.
Yeah, if Steadfast get bigger than a 3/3, as we see in Unlimited, it's very hard to.
Yeah,
very hard to
it's
answer.
very hard to kill.
Yeah, I think in
Yeah.
general it's just a good card for like very tempo-ish kind of deck that's playing like very heavily on board, right? Like I guess you call it the honest decks in a way. But of course, I guess the other problem with this deck is you kind of always have to play this card last in terms of ordering, because it's just going to consume all your play points, right? So you know you
Yeah.
kind of have to like to do all the other stuff before you can even play her down. So that's one of the
And
things you have to think about.
yeah,
Turn
and personally, I think this card could be a one-off in like control decks. If let's just say, for example, you expect the game to extend to again very long turns. Playing this on 10 is just a +7 to whatever there's still alive on your board. So still could be threatening in a late game.
Well, it does +7 to herself, so she's pretty huge as well.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
she's gonna be like a 9/11 watt.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you have cheap ward cards like Mecha Tree, the 2/2 ward from Forest, like you can like on turn I don't know 8, you can play Mecha Tree and play this. You have trees, so both of those get +3/+3. Like that's a pretty good ward line.
Yeah. So
Oh.
in a control deck, I really feel that this could be a very strong one-off or two-off.
Aren't you glad this card wasn't out in Wonderland Dreams?
Oh, Wonderland
Yeah,
Dreams.
Oh
We
my
don't talk
God.
about that. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, but
Should
you know,
we-
it's like
should we
neutral.
go with leader?
You know, it's neutral.
Probably later into this. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no, don't do this. We don't talk about Wonderland's Dream.
Yeah, but I mean, it's possible that you could see it running around Unlimited as well. Yeah.
Oh wait, guys, we still have a legendary slot for Bloodcraft. Does it mean Abyss is gonna make a comeback?
No,
It's
it's
probably
already
going
back.
to be.
It's already
probably
back,
going to
so-
be machine.
I mean, it's already back, right?
Machine Abyss?
Oh no.
We already have a beast in rotation right
We
now.
already have an abyss, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, considering it's like the whole natural and machina lore, they're probably like going to like stretch someone back from there again, right? I don't know, Fafnir or whatever. who
They
knows?
drag Beast Dominator there, so they need to drag somebody else back. Please bring back Baphomet.
Actually, now that I think about it, all like one of the legends are all like so far they're like one Machina legend and one comeback legend, I guess. Just Daria, Grimmery, Beast Dominator, and Almirage, and I guess Baphomet counts as well. Ariel also counts. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Maybe we'll.
Have you seen Damien before?
No, I haven't seen Damien before. Maybe we'll get someone back.
That sounds so good. Have you seen you before?
Have I seen you before? Have we met before? No, we haven't met before. Okay. Well, actually, maybe they'll reprint Lisa again. I wish.
Please don't.
I wish.
I mean, we technically already have a broke back Lisa right now.
Hmm. Well, I guess that's it for the expansion review. We're kind of like running out of time.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
we do have like fun things to talk about if you guys do want to go through like Fina's infograph and like touch
My
on-
infograph.
yeah, the infograph.
Yeah, if you-
I mean, we could touch
if you
on
got-
like a couple of fun stuff if you all want.
If you guys haven't checked yet, like in Twitter, Fina just shared an infographic showing like all of the popular decks right now, like this month, this expansion.
Throughout the
Ultimate
3 months
Colosseum.
of this SVO, the data is
Like-
compiled from.
What's the most popular decks? Polar, it's Kuon.
Yeah.
And what's like the most popular lineup right now? Also like
It's also cool on.
also like some fun stuff like how many assholes in SVO that doesn't register their decks
Yeah, yeah.
properly.
Oh yeah. While
Yeah,
speaking
yeah,
of that,
I actually have a list
Yeah,
compiled of
yeah.
all these little naughty people. They're on my
Yeah.
naughty list right now.
I mean, while we're talking about it, I'm already flashing it out. So if you guys are on stream, you can actually look at it right there. You can see the nice graph that Fina made. like
I like the
I like the background.
yeah, the
It's
background.
so good. It's so
I just
good.
decided to. I hate these people. Push them.
If
I
only it
like,
was
like-
This
if only it
town must
was
be purged.
I mean, it would be cool if it was like Valdane there or something. Yeah, but as you can see, like there's this weird trending where like West is going up, but SEO is going down.
So
Which means we're more civilized.
We have we,
civilized.
no, I don't. You can't say that we are more civilized. I think we are all civilized. It's just that I guess we are more better educated, right? I mean, cause you know, we kind of need to teach people about this kind of thing. So I guess in a way, yeah.
And
we were
let me
probably
just
like
let me
more
just say
educated about
this.
this issue.
This data doesn't include people who submitted through Bagom or through any form of short links. And the worst type of people is people sending in short link that links to deck builder, which is like, oh my goodness. That's like, if in the first place you had the energy to short link, why don't you just spend the energy to
To save
just
your
convert it into a deck? Like, why? Just why?
To be fair, to convert into your deck, you need to log in first, and like logging in Shadowverse Portal is kind of laggy
no.
sometimes.
No, not excusable. If the rest of the player, like hundreds of other players, can do it, why can't you? Like, why can't the small little 10 or less people of you just do it as well? Why?
Do you actually count how many people does that? The tiny URL into deck builder king?
He does actually.
I did, but for now, this graph just shows all the naughty people who just use deck builder.
Let's
Yeah,
put it this
we-
way: it's down to the point where he know who these naughty people are.
Charin in chat says, "Oh my gosh, Pina died again."
Yeah, if you're not done, you get all his back.
Yeah.
Charin in chat says, "I've always lost to people who submit deck builder links for some reason."
That's the curse, dude.
That's why we have to educate so you can actually win much more consistently.
All right, guys, I'm back. I didn't go out to catch these people. I'm just kidding.
All right. Now you're back.
So yeah, if you guys are interested into that, go check out Fina's Twitter. Fina will probably tell you what your Twitter is at the end of this. He's going to do like this, like right now he already did this for this expansion, and for like next month, I think we're going like what's our plan? We're planning to do this once every month, right?
Yeah, I think we are. Cause just like I think the first 3 months as a test, and starting next month we can do it more consistently since we just got the way to got it right.
Yeah, basically Fina just figured out how to do this with some programming
With
magics.
some programming magics, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, since we're talking about like the monthly one, as you can see like on the screen right now, there's also like the mini popular lineup list that he did it for the month of March, cause SVO is just over. So I guess that's like pretty much the overview of the whole meta environment in the Swiss round, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, so to summarize the month of March, spell boost and natural, done. That's two words I'll describe it.
A natural dragon, you mean?
March in a nutshell.
+1.
Yeah.
March in a nutshell. Like it's actually crazy. Fina was doing this while playing SVO today. The whole day he did it like in a single day.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool, right?
I mean, I got high roll over and I'm like, shit, I have a lot of time. Why not just churn this out?
I'm sorry, Fina. I didn't mean to. But yeah, this is like one of the cool stuff that we'll be doing. Fina will be doing this most of the time and will help. It's going to be on Fina's Twitter, and like Bjorn will definitely retweet it in MS Twitter. So if you're already following MS Twitter, well, you have no reason not to also follow Fina. Fina needs more follower.
I need more follower. I need more fame.
He needs more follower. He needs to catch up with Minty at some point.
Oh man.
That's right.
And like other cool things that we'll be doing, because we're planning like a lot of cool things right now, and we did said something about educating people.
Educating people.
Educating people. That might be an actual thing. Like we might actually make a video about that. That's
How
like-
to
Yeah,
How
submit
to
deck.
submit decks into... No, to be honest, how to register into SVO.
How
So
to
that
SVO
people
properly.
To be fair, if I recall, back when I was like doing the 2018 SVO, we actually did like a instruction manual on like how to submit your list properly.
But no one knows how
Yeah,
to do
but
it.
I guess we probably have to revisit that and just like share again.
Yeah, we
But
might
of
have
course-
to
of
make
course,
this into
Yeah, of course. The other way to kind of get used to using, not using Shelver's portal, but as in not the direct deck builder link, but giving a proper link, is that you could always join the ManaSurge Cup, right? And just get one cheap sell out down here.
transition.
Yeah, good transition. Yeah. So if like you're new and you kind of like want to participate in SVO, but you don't really dare to, but you still kind of want to get a little bit of experience, win some sleeves, win some emblems along the way. You know, you can always come and join us. We are quite a nice bunch, and yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good way
I
to practice
yeah.
not using Shadowverse deck builder to submit your deck list.
Yeah, I have the Roland sleeve from the Volume 2. Looks good.
Mhm.
I use it.
Are we gonna ban people that use deck builder in MS Cup?
I mean, to be
No,
fair,
no, no. To be fair, we can tell them.
yeah, usually like we could try and fix it for them, but unless it's like super invalid link and yeah,
We
then
need to educate.
enforce them.
Educate. And one form of education might also be public shaming. Like I said, I know who you guys are. I also know if you submitted that builder in any of these community tournaments. So if you do it again, watch out.
Well, to be fair, you only have like access to the ManaSurge Cup one. I'm sure you don't have like
yeah.
the other tournaments, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
The next MS Cup will be tomorrow. It's going to be the last Ultimate Colosseum's MS Cup. So if you guys are still not tired in playing Kuon and Ambush Sword is going away. So this is the last chance you can play Leon in tournament. Aren't you guys excited to play Leon for one last
I
time?
don't know. I got banned. I got banned 6 times. I didn't really get to play it, so.
No, I'm not.
Before Leon just got unlimited version, which is more degenerate.
Yeah, but
That's
anyway,
always
if you are guys,
if you guys like still want to play Ultimate Colosseum meta one more time, you guys can join MS Cup tomorrow. There's going to be some of our players there. I don't know. I think Glow will be playing. You're gonna play Glow. You're gonna play Glow.
I don't know.
Yeah. And if you want to make a name for yourself, please do join the ManaSurge Cup and I don't know, run with some Portalcraft, Bloodcraft, and, I don't know, just to prove your metal, right?
Yeah, we have seen some jank decks in the MS Cups. So like, go do it.
And of
We,
course, if
we
you
want
win
to see your
the
janks, yeah.
if you win the whole thing, Bjorn, the Master Shield right here will shield for you on Twitter. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
get your
yeah.
names, you'll be on stream. There's like no reason for you to not play if you like. This is the best chance for anyone who's wants to start playing to actually. It's going to be held tomorrow on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I'm forgetting something
yeah, it
about
is
MS
tomorrow.
Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it is
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
But if you
Okay,
want to know,
all right.
yeah, there's still of course the prizes. So if you're the winner, you get an Inori emblem. At the same time, you get if I'm not wrong, it's Tista for the sleeves. And if you're participating, you still get the Dark General Exilia for those who have missed it before. So you can actually just like participate in that as well.
Who's going to cast for tomorrow?
Yet to decide, but Bass is one of them. So Bass is back again. I'm gonna check if different fight is free again. But other than that, I guess we can always take in some guest casters since it's kind of like the last one. We'll take it easy.
Go died now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can if you guys don't want to play, you guys can at least check out some of the jank decks that will be at top 4 on the stream. It's going to be well, the MS Cup is going to be after SVO Top 8. So if you after finish watching SVO Top 8, you still want to watch more Shadowverse, you can go watch us.
Well, technically you can play after the Shadowverse Open Top 8 if I'm not wrong, right? Like
Yeah, if
the
you
matches does kind of end by then. But if you do want to watch the top 4 for the MS Cup, it's kind of like around this time as well, like just another 24 hours later, so you can just tune into that. Okay. Anything else?
And the last thing is, I mentioned it already, but Nyadev is going to do a card review next week on the 28th midnight, Singapore time. It's midnight on the 28th, so like when 28 going to 29 or 27 going to 28?
27 into 28 if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we'll
this
post
will-
the
this will-
proper timing up. Yeah.
So Saturday,
This will-
Saturday night, right?
Yeah, this
think
will
so.
feature our NA boys because they never really got the time to shine, because
Yeah.
our time zone differences, right? So at least we have we can let them have the spotlight once in a while.
Yeah, for other than Nya, we'll be joined by Green Tea, MS Green Tea, and MS Alfie. You might know Alfie from. Wait, I forgot where Alfie is from.
Reddit.
Alfie,
Reddit,
where is he
Alfie
from?
Reddit.
Reddit.
And I forgot who's the third guy.
Shira? No, not
Wait,
Shira.
Shira's Korean?
No,
not
no.
Shira.
Justin.
Oh, Justin, yeah.
Justin.
They're all pretty cool dudes, and if you want to like watch them talk very very long about all of the cards, you guys can go tune in. We'll probably be in chat as well to chat with you guys at that time. And then I guess since we're done with everything, we can start plugging in our things. And since I mentioned it, I guess we can start with Fina. Fina, go shill your Twitter because you need more follower.
Yes, I need more followers. So, like what Q has said, I've just recently uploaded or posted the infographic about the SVO from January to March, like what are the popular decks and what are the popular lineups that people have brought. So do follow my Twitter and take a look at the analysis. And also, please just join us for the ManaSurge Cup tomorrow, as it will be the last time where you guys will be using Heaven's Gate in rotation. So I'm expecting lots of Heaven Gates players tomorrow. So yeah.
Oh
I actually forgot.
Please.
Also, Fina, you didn't say your Twitter link.
Isn't it down there? Okay, you follow me at @_Finalys _.com/Twitter.
You got it the other way around. It's twitter.com/_Finalys_.
Yeah.
_, right? Alright, just down here.
Why do you have double underscore here?
Why don't you just say @_Finalys_? Isn't it just the same?
It was taken. So this is the next best name I can come up with. So yeah.
Alright, what about you though?
You can follow me on Twitter, but I don't really tweet that much. To be honest, I just tweet what like when I want it. But because like I don't really have much to tweet about. But you can follow me on Twitter @glow_SV, and you can also follow me or just catch me on like maybe when I'm live on Twitch, twitch.tv/glowsv. But to be honest, I just never really had the time to stream right now.
Cause Glow's a
So-
busy university boy now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I don't like have that much time. But to be honest, if I'm like playing Shadowverse right now, I would just be streaming at the ManaSurge Discord voice chat with other people like from other teams as well, like Min Candy, Curry, or Mao Sama if you know him that way. Even like other people and just hang out. To be honest.
Yeah, if you haven't joined the ManaSurge Discord, it's going to be linked in YouTube. It's also linked in the Twitch channel, I think.
It's also in our Twitter as well.
And it's also in our Twitter as well. And if you haven't followed our Twitter, it's Team ManaSurge. The T, the M, and the S is capitalized when you do this,
I
Bjorn.
don't think it really matters, but yeah, you
Does it
you
really
type
matters?
Yeah, you can type it lowercase and it should appear fine, I think.
Okay, yeah. So just type Team ManaSurge on Twitter and you'll find us. most of our updates are there. And like Glow said, if you join our Discord, we usually do like stream Glow mostly. Iho also does sometimes. I forgot who else. I think Hira does once in a while.
I mean, there's also like players from the other teams
yeah,
that usually
players
just
from
come,
other
players from
come
other
around and
teams
have
as well.
fun.
So like
Yeah.
if you want, you can just jump in. Like you go chat. We can go chat. You can go watch people misplays. That's always
You
fun.
can watch people like placing themselves over background.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I guess also with like the whole COVID-19 issue, everyone's just staying home and having fun together. So
Yep.
recently, the channel's been a lot more lively. Like we stream games, we play games together, not just Shadowverse,
Yeah.
but like
Not just
a lot of
servers,
weird
we
games, right? Like
Grand Blue versus like we
Scramble
do fighting
versus,
games
we
as
play
well.
like anime music quiz. Although we have
Yeah.
not played that in a long time.
The other,
Scribble.
the other day, the other day,
We had Scribble.
I am undefeated in Scribble.
Yeah.
the other day, if you host stream Alien Isolation, that's also fun.
Yep.
Yeah,
Apart
yeah,
from
yeah.
that,
Because like
we do occasional like anime screenings as well.
When Bjorn feels
oh
like
yeah.
it.
When
Yeah.
when Bjorn decides to catch up on backlogs and don't mind people joining him to watch it. Yeah.
As for me, you can follow me at Keo_SV. And you can find me in Discord, like in ManaSurge Discord. And I guess lastly, it's Bjorn.
Oh yeah, you. For a moment I thought like, did you just skip me? But okay, yeah. You can follow me at I guess it's quite hard to pronounce it, but it's just X Bjorn with a O in between, like number 0. Yeah. But anyway, you can you can just always follow me on my Twitter, or you just find me in Discord.
Or just follow Team ManaSurge Twitter. It's basically
Yeah,
the same thing as.
I pretty much
Bjorn's
manage that.
Twitter.
Yeah, I manage that page anyway, so it's pretty much out there. Yeah, but do look forward to more interesting content. I guess yeah, Message Talk is gonna be continuing. The MS Cup is gonna be continuing because we are all comfy at home and COVID-19 isn't really affecting us that way. So that's nice. With Fina now also like doing a lot of nice infographics and things like that. We are really looking forward to just making like more interesting stuff moving forward.
So like for the next episode of the MS Talk, it's going to be 2 weeks from now, so around 4 or 5th of April, unless something comes out and we kind of have to reschedule, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna. And I think for the topic, I was planning to talk about like the new Shadowverse format. We kind of already did talk about it earlier this year, but it's like a preview of the format. And right now, we just basically as a payoff to that episode where we talk about the actual format that we got, and also Shadowverse Weekend.
Yes.
So if you guys are
Hopefully
excited,
it's not too long to forget
Yeah.
about it.
if you guys are excited about it, about that, go check us out on 4th or 5th of April.
Yeah. Hopefully the new Shadowverse anime is out by then we could talk about it. But if not, let's just
we're
watch.
gonna
Let's just watch it together.
we're gonna
on
have a
Discord.
viewing party
Yeah.
for that Shadowverse
I'm probably gonna do
anime
that like a
every
weekly
single
thing.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a weekly thing now.
Okay, so that's it for us. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are watching live, thanks for being here. And if you guys are watching from YouTube, thank you for clicking our YouTube
Oh yeah.
video.
Also, Kyo. Yeah, we forgot to mention that you got the top 8 today.
I tried to not mention
So
because
to-
it feels
No,
like
no,
It feels like
don't jinx it. No, don't
we're
jinx
gonna
it.
mention that. We're gonna mention that right now. So go
Don't
watch
jinx
the next
me.
tomorrow SEAU SVO top 8. Kyo is in the top 8 and he will be playing, I don't know like what match, but yeah, he will be playing there.
I think second
Watch
match
him.
Of the, third
Yes.
match of the day.
Yeah, just watch
Yes,
him.
and please channel all of your inner chakra, all your energy, your chi, whatever energy that you have. Channel it all towards Kyo, alright?
Yeah.
Channel Q,
You guys jinxed it. I was trying so hard not to mention that.
Blame Glow.
Oh god. Oh god. Well, anyway, thank you guys for now. If you want to check me out tomorrow playing, you guys can. And this is it for us. Thank you for watching the episode 6 of ManaSurge Talk. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Are we done?